Hey everyone, it's Brave here again. I just wanted to say a few more positive words. Never allow anyone to break your spirit. Your birthright is to be free and to be strong, and never allow anyone to keep you down and in despair. Rise up like a phoenix from the ashes. Sometimes in life we have to go through terrible things, and for this you must be brave. There will come times in some of our lives, not everyone will suffer the same way. Some will suffer so severely and some won't. It's a strange imbalance. Like, there's some people who they're not tough at all, and the slightest little bit of stress they want to jump off a bridge. Then you have some people who have been through terrible things and they would never consider jumping off anything or hurting themselves or taking themselves out of here. So it all comes down to being mentally strong. If you can have people who have been through terrible things and still have the strength to get up and continue, on, doesn't that show how important it is to have a strong mindset to face any hardship that can come against you? Not that any of it's easy, it's not. I'm incredibly strong and it's not easy, because sometimes the stronger you are, the harder the struggles are. Maybe the stronger ones are given more pain, and because they're able to deal with it. But you have to keep yourself strong, you have to keep your spirit unbreakable. And at the end of the day, you are deserving and worthy of all the good things you are giving others, because that's one thing I notice: people will give and give and give to others and not consider themselves as important, and not that there's anything wrong putting other people first, because I do that a lot. I think of others before myself, but then I realize that it's important for me to take care of myself as well, because every time I've given and given until I had nothing left, when I was struggling, no one turned back and looked at me and said, "Oh no, she's struggling, give her some help," So they would leave you drowning after you saved them from drowning. You got everyone out of the raging river and no one looked back to throw you a lifeline to get you out. So that's really important, to look after yourself as well, because you can't fill everyone else's cup from an empty vessel, can you? So, and yeah, it isn't fair that many times in this world good people receive the worst treatment. That's ridiculous and awful, but it's reality. But acknowledging and voicing your pain, can lead to self-healing. You have to be able to self-soothe and self-heal. Sometimes there isn't someone coming to save you. Sometimes you have to save yourself. You have to be your own hero sometimes. So I mean, repression is commonplace. People stay in denial and delusion and repress their pain, and that's a self-defense. A what do they call it? A self-defense mechanism. Because it's like trying to, shield you, protect you from the pain, the overwhelming pain. But sometimes, you have to find a way to face your pain and your problems and get through them, navigate your way through them. Because I've tried to repress, when terrible things have been done to me. I've tried to say, just pretend it didn't happen, just try that. And then it came out in other ways, that the stress and the pain came out in other ways, where you would suddenly become super, super full of rage and anger. And then you're kind of thinking, why am I so angry? Well, of course you're angry because something terrible's been done to you and there was no justice, you know, and your brain won't, this human brain won't let you forget it. This human mind keeps looping it, whether it's flashbacks or nightmares or whatever it is, depending on what was done to you and how severe. And so it's very hard, but you have to be able to self-soothe. And if you're someone who's always giving and helping others, give yourself that kindness and help you give others. The way you're saving everyone else, save yourself as well. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I don't mean like, oh, stop helping people. I mean that make sure you're looked after well as well, because you're just as important. You're not any less important, you know. And also, I know it's the constant unfairness in this world, you know, where you're seeing bad people seeming to get everything they want, you know, that is very upsetting. It makes you confused and angry, you know, but it's like they won't win in the end. All that greed and money and evil, or evil they've done to receive so much money, and what they think is important, these silly material things, none of that matters, because when you die you can't take any of it with you. It's nothing, it's worthless, you know. And so it's very important to be a good person. What is important is what will make your soul evolve, you know, when you die and go back home to the spirit plane. It's if you've done good deeds. I know it sounds simple, but it really is that simple. If you're a good person and you're here doing no harm and trying to be of the light, you know, that is super important. To not become the evil you're fighting against is so important, you know. Do not self-sabotage yourself, you know, or destroy yourself physically with, you know, drugs, alcohol, and other things, you know, because these things will affect our mental health, you know. I know obviously if people have gone through terrible things, I can totally understand the need for escapism from their pain, you know, but with every, you know, with every addiction, yes, it's going to be super hard to break. And I know, you know, I've met lots of people who have suffered a lot with addictions and things, but a lot of the time the addiction, the reason they got addicted to these substances was a way to escape their pain. They had severe trauma. They'd seen things, or things have been done to them, or something terrible had been done to their family, and you know, they couldn't cope with this horrible reality. It was too much. And you know, if they're not going to take themselves out of here to get up every day to cope, you know, they would take drugs, or they would drink too much alcohol, or you know. And obviously I understand that completely, but you know, if you can get help, if you can talk to, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, talk to other people going through the same thing, and then maybe you have a space, you know, like you have a space where you can actually talk about the root cause of why you need to escape. What is it you're trying to escape from? And then if you can get back to that particular root cause, sometimes letting that out into the open air, talking about those problems with people who understand what you're going through, who are not going to laugh or judge or not care, then that can really, really help. You know, I'm not saying it will be overnight perfect, of course not, but it can at least relieve some of the pressure, some of the pain. It maybe can help you, you know, to wean yourself off the alcohol or drugs, or put you in touch with medical professionals, or you know, something. But even if it just releases some of the psychological pain just by talking about it to others who understand, that can also be helpful. So let me just look at my notes. So yeah, it's just really important to respect yourself as well. Love and respect yourself. Trust in your ability to take care of yourself and others. So, you know, when we lose sometimes respect for ourselves in a way, like, because if things happen to us and people make us feel unworthy, we can start to self-sabotage or self-destruct, because we're so depressed. We start to become like taking risks, unnecessary risks, because we don't care if we live or die. You know, I understand that feeling. I've had that feeling before. of just, let the world trash me, self-trashing, let the world use me. I don't care anymore. If I don't care about me, why do I care how people treat me? Like when I was severely depressed and bad things had happened to me, it was that feeling of, well, if my own family don't love and care about me, I must be worthless then. It's all these terrible things that family have done. It makes you feel worthless because the people who you love the most or care so dearly for are treating you so badly. They're convincing you of a lie, and that lie is convincing you that you're not worth anything. You shouldn't even protect yourself. You shouldn't even care about self-preservation, which is sad. We shouldn't disrespect ourselves. Just like we won't let others disrespect us. Why are we disrespecting ourselves? Why are we, putting poison in our bodies? Why are we, you know, and I do understand, like I said, if something terrible has happened, I can understand the need to escape that terrible reality. If your mind is not strong enough to cope with it and get through grief or abuse or, flashbacks of terrible things that have happened to you or your family, you know, I can understand, and I am so sorry for anyone who's, lost loved ones to terrible events and incidents, and or if you've been abused, I'm so sorry. But we have to, we have to show ourselves loving kindness. We have to forgive ourselves for when we let ourselves be, mistreated because we just didn't care about ourselves. It can be hard to come to terms with certain things, like parents, like my narcissistic parents, always beating me up and not caring about me, but not doing it to my siblings. So I'm the only one you're treating this way. What message does that give me? It just indicates, but it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm an innocent child. I wasn't like even, they pretend that it's discipline, but I can tell the difference between discipline and abuse. Even at a young age, if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you being mistreated this way, And but at the end of the day, it is so super important to be mentally strong, like I've said before, and I mean, I know I'm always free, freedom is my birthright. As much as the world will try and make you feel like you're trapped and you're not, you know, you're trapped under the world system and you have to obey, go along with the crowd or be a sheep, and but at the end of the day, it's like if people know wrong from right. Wrong is wrong even if everyone's doing it, and right is right even if no one's doing it. And and it's just, and I'm not laughing. When I laugh, when I make that laughing sound, it's more just, I'm sick of this world. I can't believe we're going through all this crap. I mean, I know that my narcissistic parents had hardships, had terrible things done to them, grew up in a time where there was terrible, you know, abuse from their parents, abuse from the world, racism, discrimination, whatever. So I know the sacrifices and hardships that my parents and grandparents and great grandparents generations suffered, because I'm from a mixed background. And I know the struggle of my people, and my ancestors who went before me, but that's still no excuse for abuse. If we're all in it together, if you've been through suffering, you should not visit upon me the suffering that you experienced. If anything, you should want to protect me harder because of what suffering is. You know what it feels like to be hurt for no reason, for someone to pick on you for no reason. You know that pain. So don't you dare visit that pain on anyone else and then call it discipline or call it tough love, or try and misuse the Bible quote of spare the rod and spoil the child. That's not right, So we have to hold people accountable who, even if we love them, even if they're our family, make it them aware. DNA doesn't allow you permission to abuse me, And so, yeah, just try and hold strong in your, in yourself. Don't let people convince you you're not good enough, you know. And a little thing I like to say is just, write down what you know is good about yourself, write down, I love the person that I am. I feel whole and complete. I'm proud of my ancestors. I'm proud of myself. I know who I am, my cultural identity, or, whatever you feel comfortable saying. Like, it's important. Little things like, even if you don't believe it, just saying things like, I will make myself happy. I won't look outside of myself for external validation. I'm strong, I'm kind, I'm intelligent, I'm consistently reliable, I'm a good person, I'm spiritually wealthy. I mean, just write like a positive list of things. I think they call it affirmations. But basically, it's just writing down everything you know you are, and then just repeating it to yourself. Instead of saying, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm too dark, I'm too light, my hair's too thick, my hair's too thin, like, instead of poking holes in everything that your human body is or isn't, like, just tell yourself, I'm amazing. I have a positive outlook even when negative things are going on. I'm an awesome human being. I'm a spiritual being in a human body. I wish for the good of all mankind, even if you're just wishing it for others, but also talk good about yourself, be kind to yourself, speak about world peace in your mind, remind yourself how you want, pray for the world, pray for hope, pray for the hope that things will get better, pray that, you hope that you can heal people who need it, and you hope that they will heal you back. You want to make everyone's life better, and you pray that people who want that for you will come into your life. Tell yourself, I can overcome anything, and I will never be unhappy again. I will never be disappointed again. I will never struggle again, financially or otherwise. My life is a precious gift. Write things down like that. This is stuff I've written down, before, and that I keep in a little notebook. Even like reminding yourself that the past has no power over you. Relinquish the past, stay in the present, try and focus on hope, not past mistakes and regrets. Know that you're stronger now for having gone through such things that have, transpired in your life in the past. And then learn from every mistake, improve yourself, create a better future for yourself. Love and protect yourself. Know that you are worth protecting. You are worthy. You are enough without the looks of others. You don't need an audience to look at you and judge you and tell you what you are. You don't need to dance around like a puppet for strangers on the internet. You don't have to do any of that. Because what would you do if there was no audience, no family, no friends, no people to try and impress? Who would you be then? What would you do? That is the person you need to focus on. Who would I be if I was alone on a desert island, and there was, just you? I mean, who would you be? You wouldn't be parading yourself around like an idiot on the internet. And I'm not calling anyone an idiot. I'm just saying there are idiots on the internet, half naked, posing for silly photos, and they want a million strangers to like the photo. Why do you need that? But then if your own, family close to you don't like you, why aren't you focusing on that? Like focusing on, is it something I'm doing that's creating this rift in the family, or are they the problem? Like look at the things that are important. Don't be so thirsty for external validation from people who don't matter in your life. Don't let people abuse you to get ahead. There's a lot of people saying, oh, I'll offer you the money and the fame you want, but you have to degrade yourself and humiliate yourself. Like, there is no amount of money in the world that would ever make me degrade myself for anybody. Like, you cannot buy my dignity and my integrity. You cannot. pay me. You cannot get me to humiliate myself for you, for your money. Money does not move me. You waving a load of paper in my face, that paper has no power over me. So it's true that the love of money is evil, because money is just paper, or whatever it's printed on now, some weird plastic. Now they changed it from paper to plastic in England, so it doesn't rip as easy, and if you wash your jeans and there's money in the pocket, it doesn't, rip apart now. But that's not the point. The point is that those bits of paper, people put so much meaning into them that people would be willing to sell their children for paper, abuse their kids for paper, let themselves be abused for paper. I mean, what kind of sickos are these? Like, where is the loyalty and protection and decency? Where is it? Like, there's no honor, there's no bravery in a lot of people. I'm not saying everyone is like that, of course not, but you can see clearly how badly people behave just for a little bit of money, and it's just sickening. And we need to do better. It just really hurts my soul to know that this world is very, very corrupt and evil. But you have to be willing to love and protect yourself and those you care about, and you want people around you who would do the same for you. You love and care about them and protect them. They should be willing to do the same for you. To surround yourself with idiots who wouldn't even care if someone came by and whacked you in the face. They would just stand there and watch. They wouldn't jump to protect you or get you out of there, or it's just people are very strange. It's a very empty, soulless world we live in. And I know it's meant to be like an earth school and we're meant to be here to learn things, but I just hate that it's so brutal. It's really hard here. But forgive yourself, when you know you've made mistakes and error in judgment, it's like you need to look at how you want to fill your life and the lives of others with happiness and shared blessings. How can you do that? Look at things from the perspective of, we all want to help each other win, instead of looking at just you as an individual, that how do I win, how do I win, how do I win. How about we all join together? It's so annoying because the concept is so simple, but this human brains don't get it. This ego, this greed, it's very hard to understand it, because some of us, we have more empathy than others. Like an empath like me is going to be more in tune with my spiritual self than someone else who's not an empath. So even though, yes, I'm here like everyone else, carrying out my life plan, my life mission that I've already picked, and my true home is the spirit world like everyone else, and I've been like everyone else, we're reincarnated every time we come back to earth to carry out a life's plan to be evolved back in the spirit world. So if you look in my other videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, it's very hard, being here in this earth plane, because I'm so aware of how the spiritual part of us, if you call us the 3D part, the human us is the 3D, and then if you think of the 5D as the amazing, full of light and love, golden beam of light energy form that we are, that's squashed into this body. That's why, when we think of our soul, that's the real us, that energy that we call our soul. Like when someone dies and their body, you can sense their soul has left their body. When you look at someone who's on the ground unconscious, you can sense if they're dead or not. Like, because, well, most people, I can, I don't know about most people, but it's like like if you see a dead animal and you think, is that animal sleeping or is he dead? You should be able to, most people who are connected to their spiritual side can sense when someone's just sleeping and when they're dead, you know, without even checking a pulse. But it's like yeah, it's very hard being here, knowing that we are capable of so much more when we're back in our original home. We're so powerful and full of love and light, and then when we're here on this such a low vibrational plane, it's almost like we're so low down, we can't you know we can't reach the potential we would have done if we weren't in this low vibrational place. So I wouldn't say we can't reach it, but what I mean is it's more difficult to reach it. It takes longer. It's like there's a lot of obstacles. The human brain restricts us a bit with depression and self-doubt and paranoia, and then you've got the outside world of people you don't even know trying to drag you back. Then you got family trying to drag you back, and it can just be extremely hard. It's like you're set up to fail. But if you can fight through these things, you will win. But it is hard. I don't want to sound all doom and gloom, but I'm aware of it because I've lived through a really hard life. So I'm very aware of what downfalls and pitfalls can happen to us, the negatives that can happen to us that we didn't create. Sometimes you'll be minding your own business, completely, innocent, not doing anything wrong, and others come into your space in your life and mistreat you and abuse you, and it is devastating because you're a good person, you didn't deserve this. No good soul deserves any abuse of any kind. And then just to know that there are evil people going around looking for innocent souls to abuse, it's just sickening, it's disgusting. But yeah, like I said, it's extremely important to fight back against the evil in this world. Work hard to strengthen yourself spiritually, mentally. That is so important. And let me check my notes. Hold on. Yeah, so just remember who you are, and who you are is a good soul. And I'm talking to all the good souls. Obviously, I'm not talking to the bad ones. You're a generous person, you're a kind person, but don't let anyone take advantage of you. You could be incredibly strong, but at the same time, let people help you as well. Just because you're incredibly strong doesn't mean you don't deserve help when you need it. Tell people that you've helped. I need help. I need support too. Me being strong doesn't mean I have to shoulder the whole world on my back, the world's problems. I need help too. But just remember, you're a very powerful being of light, and if you can always solve problems for other people, then why can't you solve your own? Sometimes that's the easy part, is to help other people and jump in and rescue them. But then when it comes to your own stuff, you feel stumped and stuck, and you might have emotional blocks where you feel like you can't express yourself. A lot of men don't feel they can cry or express themselves because society makes them feel weak or whatever, and that's not fair. A lot of people need support, whether they're male or female, black or white, child or adult. So it would be so much nicer if people were just normal. This world does seem very messed up. People were just not acting normally, and it's very weird, and but yeah, it's important to give out kindness and positivity. There's no, there's no benefit in the being evil, but yet people do it because in their mind the benefit is money or power, even though that stuff is only gonna destroy your soul. You're gonna be a bad soul, and you're not gonna end up in a good place and after you die. And it's just, people don't seem to think about that. They just have this they're thinking of the now, the instant gratification of now. They're not thinking about, well, if I was good and I used this money I acquired to help others, we could all raise up together. We could all help each other rise up in a good way, you know. But there's so that everyone's so divided, you know. But yeah, I wish everyone peace and love and light and protection. And this is the end of this video, but I'll put up more videos soon, so just like, share, subscribe, and bye for now.